Movie park in Planet Coaster 2. Today, as you've probably noticed, I've had yet another brand new idea. As you know, it is now October and I myself am a huge fan of the spooky season. So I thought, why don't we create a brand new area, put the rest on hold just for now, and create a brand new area based on a few really cool horror themes that of course we've already done before. For example, the Five Nights at Freddy's Dark Ride I made a while back in Theme Park Tycoon 2. For here, combining those three themes into a sort of little mini horror theme park bit section. While explaining the smaller ones, we can sort of create like an arch shape over here. That is actually much easier than I thought. Wow, that's almost just like that. And on there, we can put some sort of text saying something cool. It's really too bad. But for now, I'm going to stick with Fairville because it seems nice. Maybe a bit generic, but for now, it'll do just fine. Looking, what the hell is going to happen here? Let me explain. The layout could be cool, but that means I first need to know how big these buildings are going to be, which means I'm gonna build one of these buildings. I'll start with the Five Nights at Freddy's one. That's definitely the most iconic. And with iconic, I mean iconic in my cinematic universe, if you will. This figure is just for scale, by the way, to make sure I don't mess that up, because I always kind of do. That is absolutely perfectly. Okay, and this is where Planet Coaster genuinely is less great than Theme Park Tycoon 2. I wish I could change how high the peak is on this part. In the movie, you can see it's a very shallow little peak. Here, it's quite high, it's just not as accurate, it looks kind of dumb. And I really wish we could change that. It's a pretty simple mechanic, I think, so hopefully we get that in the future. For now, I'm not really sure how to get that shape in, because I don't know if we have that piece. I guess I'll have to resort to other ways of creating a similar pattern. And important to keep in mind, however, is this does need an entrance. You need to actually be able to get in. So let's sort of go and create a doorway, just like that. This door frame is also quite important to make that look a bit more realistic. Just very simple, using some of these steel elements. Only thing is, all the cool doors are closed. So we can't really use those because you actually have to go through. And the ones that are singular have a frame around it. So this is not ideal. It's already looking decent. Only problem is of course going to be the giant sign with Freddy Fazbear's on it. I think we can try making that using primitives, but we're gonna have to see about that. I'll begin with the general shape of the whole sign in general. This is so much easier in Theme Park Tycoon 2. It's crazy. Then when the whole thing is filled up. Yeah, so something went wrong, but I think we can still use it.
12 seconds later.
Finally, this took way too long, especially for how good it actually looks. That's kind of sad, but let's continue. Let's go and me out. What if we use the big letters again? Obviously, we can't spell out the whole thing because these are a lot wider than the original letters. But I think the 3D effect is much more important than spelling out the whole thing. So let's just make it about this big. Is that not better than having the actual thing, but it looking very whack? Color is maybe not ideal though. Something like this is a bit better. That might not be super realistic or accurate, but it looks much nicer. What I can even try is this, to still have Freddy in there somehow. There you go. That's a bit of a creative liberty again, but that's decent. And I just found this, and I'm not gonna lie, I did not know these existed. Maybe they're new, but let's use these for the lights. That's perfect. Just copy all of these over. We can maybe even sequence them to go like in a circle. Oh my god. Hold on a minute. Oh, wait a minute. These don't have, you can't turn these on and off. Wait, what? Oh, it's not like a... Wait, no, it is a light. It's in the lights tab. Okay, that's weird. You can't turn them off or on. I mean, this still looks pretty cool, to be fair, but it's not what I expected. Let's at least finish this off for now. I like this. The only thing is the bear on top. Freddy Fazbear himself. That is going to be an absolute nightmare. Let's get straight to it. Before doing that, however... Orange juice! I'm most definitely not going to be recording this whole process because it is already starting to bore me. So let me just get this done and be right back with you.
One eternity later.
Guys, I think I've done it. Look at this. That's actually pretty good. Proportions aren't perfect, but I really don't think we can complain. Look at that. Let's make that slightly bigger, probably till about here. Dude, this... Oh my god, that turned out so much better than I thought. Funny thing is, I meant to just build the base shape, like the layout. I now built the whole... Okay. Well, let's move on. Maybe we can try and use the aquatic corrugated wall. Just for this one should probably be a bit lower, actually. I just realized it says scenery group 3824. Does that mean we have 3824 groups in this park? Let me just pop in a frame for the window then, because, well, behind this is so weird doing this all over again. I've already built all of this in a different game, and I can't even tell if this one's better or the previous one. Obviously, this was more accurate in the previous one. Besides that, I'm not even sure. But I possibly put this. I have no idea yet. Really? Wait a minute. What if we put it, for now at least, right here, and first attach the whole building beyond to see how big it's going to be. However, just quickly in between, a nice looking building from the exterior, or nice, I should say realistic looking building. Like, I have not built any of this yet. I usually tend to build this stuff underground, which is kind of unrealistic if you think about it. This is generally, as well add some ventilation ducts and stuff like that. Always does kind of make it look a lot more realistic immediately. So also attach some ventilation pipes. I'm not sure if this is realistic at all, if this is how you're supposed to be using them, but sort of thing. Yes, I really think this is the sort of stuff that makes it feel... Okay, actually that's a bit much. Let's not do that. This just makes it look so much more realistic. Main building... Actually, looking at this now, this is probably only going to be like the queue and the station. It's pretty small. Then. At first, I thought maybe somewhere over here. But at that point, there's maybe not enough room behind it. I'm not sure. This is a stinker, really. I'm just going to go with this. Because I'm just not sure. Like, first we need to know where they really don't have a clue what's gonna happen after this, so I'll just make it straight here. Then same thing again. This is gonna be the crossing with a second little plaza area over here, maybe? I have no idea. Yes, no. For once, I simply just don't have really an idea for the layout. That's also because it's gonna be multiple themes in one, unlike usually where it's just one overarching theme. As for the path, let's go with something a little bit more generic. And these new trees just has to be subtle enough for you to kind of... Actually, I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. I'll just fill in the gaps at least. Look, that's looking very lush already. Maybe some small rocks. Can't forget about rocks, ladies and gentlemen. Some of these obviously have to make sure the train can still go through. So let's dig the big hole. That is very dark. Turn on the torch. Now let's continue this exact same thing on this side as well. Inside of the tunnel, I'll put a tunnel to make it look like it's a bit more man-made than just a regular natural tunnel of these vines. That's really cool, actually. And no, this wouldn't catch fire because it's not actual real vines. It's just for show, like most theme parks do. See that? Then somewhere on this plaza, I do want to have a small flat ride. We don't have enough flat rides. Just have to have a look which one is small enough to fit here, because obviously all of this is just way... Look, that's better. Getting close. So many of these are just so big, it's actually crazy. Hey, what about this one? Just a children's ride. I quite like that, actually. What if we just shove that somewhere into these bushes? How that will look. Final thing for today, I want to plant some trees, like some planted trees. I want to plant some planted trees. Just some skinny, sad trees in front of the Fazbear building. Just sides. Yes, that is surprisingly nice. Wow. Okay, I really didn't mean to do this, but what if we also add some benches? Just that classic urban kind of bench design here on the sidewalk. Here you go. And even need some of them, at least. Very nice. Wow, I really like this, actually. Ooh. And also decals on the floor. Don't want to go too far with that though, I think. However, some mossiness is also perfect for this vibe, because I think the original has that as well. Just gotta make sure not to overdo it, which I think I'm already doing right now. Because, yeah, that's not... No. No, that's too much. No, I think we're good. It shouldn't be too much. For today, that is quite a lot of stuff. I did not mean to do all this. I'm not complaining though. For this,